Hey guys, welcome back to Interesting Video in Wild Rift. So today we're back with a Varus supplementary guide, and today we're going to be taking a look at Hextech SOULSTEALER Varus. And of course, Hextech SOULSTEALER has always been viable on Varus, but in this case, we're going for a third item, which currently the top players are not actually using. There is this one and the last item, but at the time that I played this game, I believe the second ranked Varus actually used this build, and I did find it a little bit weird. I tried it out for about 3 matches, and the gameplay you'll see later is going to be one of them. We'll talk a little bit more about what I think of the build later on, but let me first explain how the build really works. So, first item, Gluttonous Greaves, AD and Omnivamp, no surprise there. The first two items is a very standard Varus build. Essence Weaver into Triforce. Essence Weaver, of course, gives you generally good stats, and the most important part is that it boosts your ability damage, which is most important for your Q, because this basically allows you to instantly clear a wave or to just poke people down. And then this combos with Triforce. So Triforce is a just general good stat stick item, meaning that it gives you just very good stats. You get health for the tankiness, a little bit of AD, a little bit of attack speed just for the damage, and ability haste as well. So combined, like Essence Weaver as well as Triforce, you have like 45 ability haste, and then you're gonna get even more when you get SOULSTEALER. So obviously this build is focusing a lot on poking, a lot on your Q, but at the same time you still do decent amount of damage with your other auto attacks and abilities. Of course, you also have the Spellblade passive, which of course procs on auto attacks, which then helps you deal extra damage. And then of course we have the SOULSTEALER itself, give you even more health, AP, more ability haste and magic pen as well, both flat and percent magic pen, that is. And of course you have the Wandering Soul passive, where you can steal the ability haste and movement speed of the people that you kill. And then, of course, we have Riftmaker, which gives you the Omnivamp and the true damage, most importantly, as well as some generally good stats. And finally, I like to top it off with a more reminder, just for some armor pen, as well as some grievous wounds. So with this build, you have a ton of ability haste. You have ability haste 20 here, 25 here, another 20 here, plus more from the passive, as well as another 15 here. And to add on to that, we're even getting more from Phase Rush, where you get movement speed and basic ability cooldowns reduced when you hit someone 3 times. Of course, it's very useful utility rune for Varus, and then you have the standard Brutal into Giant Slayer and Alacrity with the Precision tree, as well as the Bone Plating for the defensive stats on the Resolve tree. And finally, for the spells, we have Ghost as well as Flash, where you can swap out Ghost with Exhaust if they are a lot of assassins or divers, things like that. But with all that said, let's move on to the gameplay. Alright, so now moving on to the gameplay itself. Now the first thing I really wanted to kind of discuss is what I think of the build. Now, I'm going to put it out there right away. I do not think that going for a SOULSTEALER third item is good, because with this build, well, yes, Varus has a lot of base damage, and Essence Reaver and Triforce does already give him a lot of damage, but I really feel that with SOULSTEALER as a third item, I kind of feel that your damage is a little bit lacking, right? Because I think that going for Riftmaker or whatever other third item that's like literally whatever other third item that it's not SOULSTEALER would be better. I do also have another Varus gameplay video coming up where I built Spear of Sojin as a third item, and I even think that is better. Like, Spear of Sojin is a surprisingly good item on Varus, which I also saw some of the top Varuses use. And yeah, I even think that is better. So, of course, the Hextech SOULSTEALER will not exist in the next patch 6.0. Of course, now we're already on patch 5.3D, so we already know that patch 6.0 is coming, really, really soon, and, this item probably is going to get reverted. Of course, we don't know for sure, but that is likely. So, probably this item is not even going to exist for that much longer. So here, it's pretty standard Varus gameplay. Right? Against a Thresh and a Draven, which is a very dangerous lane. However, we do have the Phase Rush to kind of run away, like what you just saw here, to maintain our distance. And also we have the Q and the E to kind of just poke down the Thresh and the Draven without getting too close, like so. Actually here I'm using it for wave clear, but the general idea is there, because we don't really want to, of course, fight them early. Of course, Varus does do a decent amount of damage early. He's actually on the, probably upper quartile in terms of early game champion damages, but definitely not on par with Draven, so we definitely don't want to pick a fight with him, especially when he has a Thresh by his side. So all we're doing is we're just poking them down a little bit, generally just trying to make sure that we put them low to a point that they can't all in us like that. Like, see, Draven's now like at 1/3 health. After we proc 2 of our blight stacks with the empowered Q, and we want to make sure that they're not in a position to all in us, and that's generally how you win against an all in lane as a poke lane. Of course, Morgana has really decent poke on her W as well, and we have decent poke on our Q and our E. So all we genuinely want to do is just poke them down and not pick an all in fight with them unless they are already really low from the poke. But of course, this is a very mana hungry kind of playstyle, which means that we have to kind of recall and restore our mana as well as we pick up our boots. So aside from that, it's not too complicated in terms of laning. We just don't want to really pick a fight. We just want to clear the wave and you know, just be happy with that. Now Thresh nearly got caught on the recall by Morgana, but unfortunately a little bit too late. I could have gone up there to stop him if I wanted to, because I did see him recalling on the minimap, but I just felt that ruining Thresh's tempo is not the worst thing in the world, especially because he's the support and not the ADC. I'd rather just secure the minions for myself. And I'm about to hit level 5 as well. Morgana is already level 5. And Thresh hits level 5 as well before Draven, because Draven was a little bit late to the wave. Now I'm level 5 and Draven is, I think, a minion or 2 away from hitting level 5 himself. There we go. Draven's gonna hit level 5 right now. And not everyone has ultimate, so the matchup kind of changes a little bit. Of course, now I have the CC and the lockdown. And Morgana has even more CC and lockdown with the ultimate, so more potential to get something done for sure. But yeah, so anyways, as we know, of course, patch 6.0 is coming soon, and generally, at the end of this patch and when a major patch is coming, generally I avoid making too many videos. But in this particular case, I do have a lot of gameplays, and I do have a lot of videos to make. So I think I'll probably be still doing probably daily videos up to the point where the patch comes out. So you guys can look forward to that. Of course, it's not gonna be relevant in the future patch, most likely. However, of course, it will still be relevant for now, and you can also just enjoy the gameplay, I guess. So here, we so far have been pretty successful until now of not getting engaged on. Morgana gets hardcore engaged on, but does survive on 1 HP. Hecarim is coming though, and here I'm trying to get the kill onto the Thresh. Unfortunately, Thresh flashes out of the way right before we do that. However, Vi now comes in for the engage and onto Hecarim, and Hecarim does end up going down. So in the end, it turns out to be a 3v3. They look like they want to continue the fight, so I'm picking up the fruit and walking back to lane so that I'm available to do damage. Here, engage goes in onto the Thresh. I'm focusing the Draven, who's the more valuable target, and I do get the kill onto the Draven with the help of, I believe it was the red buff that I got from the Hecarim. And we are able to take down the Draven and make him lose half of his stacks. Now, trying to snipe the Thresh there, I believe with the Empowered W together with the 1 Blight stack, I believe that if I hit that, I think Thresh actually dies, but unfortunately I don't hit that, so Thresh does survive. Not a overly big deal though. Now here, the reason why I'm kind of sticking around is because I'm actually really close to getting Essence Reaver, and I kind of need one more wave to get the Essence Reaver, which is what I'm going for here. So I'm kind of forcing it a little bit, losing a little bit of tempo without resetting. But the enemy team is doing the Rift Herald, and my team is contesting them over there, so I'm not really needed at the Dragon anyway. So here I can safely recall and pick up the Essence Reaver, and then head back out onto the map and help out my team with the Dragon, most likely. But yeah, so with that little skirmish there with Draven dying and myself getting 2 kills, I actually have a 1k goal lead over Draven now. However, Draven is still pretty dangerous. Like, Draven is generally dangerous even when he's behind, because he does do a lot of base damage, so you never want to underestimate him and give him a shutdown and a cash in, which would swing the entire entire game. Definitely don't want that. Now here behind us, we have Yasuo and Thresh kind of going behind us, which is really a little bit weird, because that doesn't happen every day. But here we're now just trying to clear the wave. The Dragon is being done by the enemy team. Here Draven exhausts me. I'm just gonna to root him, and he is pretty much dead because he finds himself in a 1v2 way overextended. And here Yasuo and Thresh are now just coming in as well. Root goes in on Yasuo by Morgana. Wind Wall comes up, and I basically can't do a thing, and I end up just getting shut down by the Thresh. Now the good news here is that Thresh got the kill, which means that he gets the shutdown, which is pretty much the best target to give the shutdown to on the enemy team, so I don't really mind that all too much. Of course, dying is never a good thing, but sometimes there is a silver lining to dying when the wrong guy gets the shutdown, which in this case is the Thresh. Of course, at that point, honestly, with Yasuo putting up the wind wall, there's nothing much I could have really done anyway in terms of killing him or damaging him, so I probably should have just walked away a second sooner instead of getting caught by the Thresh there. But hey, you know, it is what it is, and we do end up going down. So a little bit of a small concern is, you can see our goal at this point is 5.5, and we can see that Kennen is at 6k gold, and Yasuo is at nearly 7k gold, so Kennen definitely has the potential to one-shot us, and Yasuo is getting really fat, and he can easily dive the backline and just kill us, and you know those games where you win lane pretty hard. I would say we won lane pretty hard, but someone else on the enemy team won lane pretty hard as well, and they end up coming down to kill you, like Kennen just randomly running to your lane and ulting you, something like that. And then you find yourself on the losing end in terms of the two teams. Right, so that's definitely not something we want to experience, as Hecarim is now making his way up to the top lane. So we're staying safe, like really near our tower to ensure we can't get ganked by Hecarim, and we also have wards now in the entire river, as well as the two bushes, so we're really safe here to walk up. In the sense that the moment Hecarim shows up, we can definitely respond to it by running away like this. So here we walk away a little bit, and we're actually committing to the tower a little bit here, because Hecarim is kind of alone. Unfortunately, he fears me into the tower. I have to flash away so that Thresh does not kill me, and I get hooked back in by Thresh. Now I'm getting run down by Hecarim, and despite what I just said, turns out that Hecarim still kills us. And honestly, I think we made a mistake there, and the mistake I think we made is not committing to a decision, right? So we should either A, focus the tower and kill the tower, and then die to Hecarim, or B, try to run away and not care about the tower and not care about Hecarim in the sense that we just want to run away from him, right? But what we did is the in-between, which is that we kind of focused the tower a little bit, and then we focused Hecarim a little bit, and then we didn't really run, and then we started to run, and we just did a little bit of everything. And generally, doing a little bit of everything never really works. You want to kind of commit to a decision, which we did not. So we end up having the worst case scenario where we don't get the tower and we die anyway. Whereas if we focus the tower, we could have got the tower. If we focus on running, we might have been able to get away. But we did neither of those, and we just ended up dying for nothing, essentially. So at this point, the tower is really low. In fact, all tier 1 towers are really low, and their objective bounty's up because there's a 6k gold difference between the two teams. And as a result, you know, there's a lot of potential to get a lot of gold back into our pockets. So here we're trying to overload mid lane and you know, go for that tower, but the enemy bot lane is defending. So instead, I'm going to top lane and pinging that I'm going to do so, in the hopes that no one is defending the top lane, which is very possible. Generally, you know, if you're the enemy team, it's really hard to defend 3 low HP towers because you have to kind of out-rotate the entire enemy team constantly, which is not, like, it's not viable in solo queue. So here you can see we're just going to focus the tower, we get the objective bounty, and here we just clear the next wave as well. No one is really coming here, at least I don't think so. And then I'm going to recall as the next dragon is coming up, and likely we're going to be contesting the next dragon, right? So here we get the Triforce, 2 item power spike now, and we're in a decent spot. Aside from the fact that pretty much everyone on the enemy team has more gold than us, aside from the bot lane, who even Draven now is not even that far away from us at this point. He still hasn't had any kills though, which is good news. So mid lane is of course still really low, but it's normally mid lane is the most heavily defended lane by the enemy team because everyone just walks mid to defend the tower. So here we're just kind of trying to snipe people. I do get the hit onto Draven, and the ult goes in onto Hecarim. I chain CC with my ult, and we get rid of the Hecarim. Phase rush procs. Gather ult is coming in. Kennen is rooted to the side, as is Thresh, and here Kennen goes in with the ulti, but I'm outside the ulti. I get the kill onto him. And I flash forward to go for the Draven. Unfortunately, he flashes away, and now Yasuo is in, and now I'm in trouble. Thankfully, Morgana saves my life by getting the root on the Yasuo, and I'm able to barely escape the tornado. And here, as expected, Yasuo is coming in to contest the dragon. Morgana secures the dragon, and Vi flashes over the wall to the relative safety of the enemy jungle, takes the Hex Gate, and runs all the way to the other side, and is able to escape scot-free. And at this point, I'm starting to build my Awakened SOULSTEALER, which is, again, Not really the best item, but the concept is kind of there. I think the main issue is that with this build, you have so much ability haste, but you don't have enough damage, right? So you cast your abilities very often, but you don't really have that much damage. Now, I think that's a little bit surprising considering we have Triforce and Essence Reaver, but in all the games I played, it kind of just really feels like it's not very impactful. And I think not Essence Reaver, I think that Awakened SOULSTEALER, maybe last item, maybe second last item, you can go for it, but it's definitely not like first, second, third item kind of material, right? So here, we do have the top lane, huge wave coming in. We're gonna use the power of the Essence Reaver to basically nearly one-shot the wave and then follow up with an E. Just refreshing our blue buff here.
Enemy turret destroyed.
And now head to mid lane. So we've gotten all the objective bounties at this point, and the gold difference is now kind of only 2k difference. Of course, mainly from all the objective bounties, we kind of accrued back our gold. Unfortunately, here Galio takes the red buff, I believe. I'm trying to ping him off it, but he just doesn't care. I mean, he's 1 in 5, and he's a mage, right? So it kind of red buff on him is kind of horrible. But now we're gonna have to try to defend the Baron. Oh yeah, I think I kind of remember this game because this game was some time ago. Couple days ago, I think, but this Galio, I believe, is just trying to troll, right? Because at some point he's 1 in 5, and he's getting flamed by somebody on the team, and at some point he just kind of, okay, I wouldn't say troll. That's a little bit of an exaggeration, right? But he basically just goes for the approach of he's trying to steal everybody's farm. It's essentially what he's trying to do. He tries to steal the jungle camps. He tries to steal the lane minions. He tries to steal the kills, which is what he did right there. And yeah, so here Vi goes in way too deep and is trying her best to escape. We're trying to escort her out, but we can't really enter the area without putting ourselves at risk. So she's kind of on her own, trying to get out. But yeah, so here she does eventually manage to get to the safety of the tower and escape. So that's great because enemy team wasted a lot of time chasing her and doesn't even get the kill. In the meanwhile, we are clearing the waves in the mid as well as now in the top lane. And this serves to not only increase our farm, but also, of course, prevent the enemy team from pushing. Now, the enemy team is all kind of in the bot side area. Draven is isolated and gets jumped on. He has to flash away, but does end up dying to Morgana eventually. Now, I'm making my way there, and Yasuo as well as Kennen, and basically the 3 fed members of the enemy team are all here. Kennen ults basically nobody. All of them are 1 HP. We eventually kill the Kennen. The Yasuo's 1 HP still. And we kill the Hecarim. Yasuo goes down as well to our team. And everybody dies aside from the Thresh. So this is really the game-changing fight where a lot of games that you're losing, like this one, there is going to be that one fight. Hopefully, there is going to be that one fight to change the game, which is what we just had here. And now we're on even footing with the enemy team. In fact, we're slightly ahead than the enemy team in terms of gold. So this fight kind of changes everything. At this point, I have 12k gold, which is on par with the 2 most fed members, which is Hecarim and Yasuo on the enemy team. And I'm definitely in a position where I can carry the game. I do have the Awakened SOULSTEALER at this point, and I didn't have it in the previous fight. I just walked to the base and only just kind of got it. So now in the future fights, you will have a situation where if you get a couple of kills, you will have insane kind of ability haste. And here we have the Galio trolling again, quote-unquote trolling again, and stealing all of the wolves. But yeah, he's not trolling into the gameplay, like he's not like running it down or soft inting or anything like that. He's just kind of stealing all the farm, which is, I think, the most minor kind of trolling you can do. So I won't say I don't mind it, but it could have been way worse, right? Considering that he's apparently like kind of pissed off and things like that. So here Yasuo is pushing. He's real overextended. Galio kind of catches him out. I'm waiting for the wind wall, and there is the wind wall. He ults over to me, but that means he doesn't have wind wall anymore. And now we're attacking from over the wall. We even ult him to prevent him from escaping, and the ult actually secures the kill. So with that, I believe that is the dragon spawning right now. We're gonna basically just grab the dragon for ourselves. Yeah, the only real issue is that enemy team could have been doing Baron in that time, but they clearly weren't. Hecarim gets caught again. And the root transfers over, exact same position in the fight, by the way. Root transfers to basically everybody, 1 by 1. So that's the insane Varus route where it first goes onto the Hecarim, and then from Hecarim it goes to, I think it was the Thresh, and from Thresh it goes to like the Kennen, and from Kennen it goes to the Draven, like 1 by 1 by 1. Like that's a really dream kind of Varus chain of corruption, and with that the whole enemy team is wiped out. Yasuo's gonna be the first person to respawn, but he's not even gonna make it here in time to even contest the Baron. So we get a free Baron, and really with these like 2 fights, the whole game has turned on its head, where now my team is the one in the lead, and now we are the ones with the Baron, and now we're the ones who are gonna be able to push. And yeah. So here with that, we got a ton of gold. We can actually back and pick up the Riftmaker, which of course is going to be a huge difference. We also already have the QSS, which is going to help us a lot against like the Thresh, you know. Even a Yasuo Tornado or a Cannon Alt could be made better by a little bit with the QSS. So here Baron is barreling down the mid lane. We have 3 of us following the Baron, but we do have Mordekaiser on the split push, which attracted the attention of 3 people on the enemy team. So enemy team is all focusing on the Mordekaiser. I believe Mordekaiser has just ulted somebody, and no one is caring about us. There's 3 people on the Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser finally dies, enemy team is recalling, but at this point, they only have Headcrypt defending, and we literally just steal their base and get the win, just because they all were focusing Kennen, which is insane. So we do get the dub here, but yeah, it's kind of an unexpected ending. I'll leave you guys with the stats as usual. Thank you guys so much for watching, and goodbye.